Thanks for staying with us. Now, the need to grow Nigeria's SME base has remained topical concerns. The potential impact of SMEs has remained topical concerns on the potential impact on SMEs to the economy. A research report published by professional service firm PwC suggests that at present, SMEs contribute 48% of Nigeria's gross domestic product, accounting for 96% of businesses and 84% of employment. Despite the significant contribution of SMEs to the Nigerian economy, challenges still persist that hinder the growth and development of the sector. In a country like Nigeria, where there are a number of challenges, if you're trying to build a multinational company that delivers excellent service, where would be the right place or the good place to start from? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So we're going to give the floor to our customer engagement experts to start. Uti, so businesses, we've seen this, we talk about this almost every single day. I mean, both of us went into a store, we placed an order. The order was supposed to come out in 2 days. This is almost 2 weeks now, or more than 2 weeks. No form of communication and all of that. And this is supposed to be a business that is thriving. You know, so every time you go into small businesses in this country, you just see that, that gap. You know, that excellence is not there. That service delivery is not there. Why is that so?
So the Cliff's Notes version is there's an absence of thought towards it. When I say absence of thought, it's deliberate thought. You know, I always say that one of the most common misconceptions is that anybody can do service, because most times that's where people start their jobs. They start in contact centers or as sales girls or, you know, salespersons in stores. You always find that for business owners, the focus is always on the product. The focus is, what's my marketing strategy? What does my business plan say? The idea for most people is that if I get all of that right, then the customer will come. But the reality of it is, I mean, it's not to say that doesn't work, but what that then creates is this experience that you're talking about. There's a lack of thought. So it's like, I'm going from point A to point Z, but I've only thought as far as how I will get to point P. So you find that most businesses, quality, price, volume, how will I sell? How will I get customers? That whole, and we always throw that, you know, most people are familiar with the 80-20 rule now. But the reality of it is you need to focus on getting more business from your existing customers. It's actually quite expensive to acquire customers. Getting people to walk through your doors, getting people to listen to you sell and pitch a new product to them can be difficult. And even more difficult in today's world where the plethora of options is no joke. You know, you are talking about competition now not just being the guy down the road. Today you can order this glass from China, you can order it from the US.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in Nigeria, you can order it. So the fact is, understanding that your competition is now global, globalization is doesn't matter the size of your business. You know, people might say, oh, but it's food. There is a fish market in America that ships fish worldwide. Fish.
Okay. Quickly.
For me, I think that why bad behavior persists, especially in our environment, is because nobody knows how to do better. Well, I promise you, by the time some people start getting it, because we're not feeling the effect, in places where customer reviews actually work, you will see business actually dying because of bad reviews. By the time we start getting it here, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is almost the same, so you just have to cope with bad behavior. But by the time we start getting it right, and you know that you can get better service, maybe at almost the same or cheaper price, people will start setting up.
Is it better to teach the customers first what better service is? Because
when toxic relationship with
exactly.
So Akanbi Olelekan is a banker, entrepreneur, and advent BBQ lover. He's a barbecue lover. His passion for grills birthed the Bazzy Special Barbecue, a successful barbecue business that has you hooked for life once you taste it. Lekan is a friend of the house, and we're super honored to be hosting him tonight on Ways. Welcome, Lekan.
Thank you. Thank you.
By the way, he bribed me tonight with barbecue, just to throw that in. But thank you so much. Just kidding, no, he did not bribe me. But thank you so much. I mean, you heard our conversation on excellent service delivery. So I hear Uti clearly, right? And I know that sometimes at some point is no longer in the hands of that business owner, that delivery. Do you understand? Case in point was what we went through yesterday.
Exactly.
You know, but tell me as a businessman, right, how easy is it for you to deliver excellently to your customer?
Let me start by saying thank you for having me on the show. I've always watched back home, but it's different being here in the studio with everyone. And thank you so much. To your question, I'll answer two ways. There's the ideal situation and there's the real situation. So as a businessman or as a business person, when you're putting your numbers, crunching your numbers and expecting that the business will go this way, a lot of times that is possible. But most of the times, the things that pull you back are things you never saw coming. Case in none, like we experienced yesterday night. You ordered something, we had it sent out 45 minutes before when you wanted it to be sent out, but it still got to you 2 hours afterwards. The challenge at times doesn't really lie with the core business because it's like a supply chain system. So you have, you backward integrate with some people, you forward integrate with some people. So a simple example would be when we make the barbecue, we need to ship it out. We've got delivery companies that we send it through. Every delivery company you call will tell you we'll have it delivered quickly at a very reasonable price. But what we find out most times is you send this stuff out. It takes 2 hours before somebody covers a distance of 10 kilometers. And because we are in Lagos, everybody blames it on traffic. But the reality is it's not traffic. I mean, yesterday someone left that same location in the car to VI and got to VI before the barbecue that was riding on the bike got to VI. So you understand those are some of the challenges you face and you have to deal with. It's a lot of stress on you as a business owner. At times, even the people you work with, I mean, you train people. One of the things I've come to realize is you have to be passionate about what you do because all these curveballs can easily throw you off guard. I mean, you spend time, you invest time and resources in training people. They feel they've learned enough and they just take off. But in reality, they really don't know much. Everybody's trying to make money, but what they should be after is creating value. If people understand that in creation of value, then money becomes a byproduct, then things will change.
Quite interesting. So I was going to ask, very typical situation that you have just talked about and narrated. We do understand that you cannot control every aspect of your business, but what do you do? And what measures should businesses put in place knowing that situations like this can come up? How do you then manage that curveball?
So in my own business or in my own business experience, some of the things we do at times is we try to create some slack in the sense that, okay, maybe customer is expecting delivery within a certain time. We try to let them understand it might take a little longer. So I want this thing in 15 minutes. We'll be honest with you to let you might not get it in 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. But if you get it in 15 minutes, we'll have exceeded your expectation. If you get it in 10 minutes, we'll have done better. But if you get it in 20 minutes, it's still within the time frame that we have given you. Also, we try to work with people who are like-minded. So somebody who has set up a company. Now, the good companies that do some of these things around, let's be honest with ourselves. But the cost implication for some small-scale business is also one thing we need to consider. So, I mean, if somebody orders a barbecue package of about 1,500, and I need to send it to the person in VI, I know good delivery companies that will take it for about 1,500 or 2,000 naira. But the point is, will people be willing to pay 2,000 for a meal that costs 1,000 naira? So that's the disparity that you have to deal with. That now takes you to have to deal with that Mr. Wasiu or Mr. Chukuma who's riding his bike on his own and who tells you, I'm on my way there right now, but he leaves your store and goes to the next place looking for more business because he's also trying to maximize his own profit. So, I mean, he's going to VI. Why would I take just one package to VI and to get maybe 3-4 more packages? So we see them around. They'll park in the place or working on their phones, looking for orders to join with yours to maximize their investment in maybe their motorbike or in their fuel or whatever it is they're doing. But ultimately, you just have to keep striving. But one good thing about it that I've noticed is increasingly people are becoming more aware. People are becoming more interested in excellent service delivery. And for those who are able to get it right, they will do a lot better.
Uti, over to you.
Okay, so I'm asking questions?
Yes, you are.
All right. I would say for me, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm trying to go somewhere, right? When you started your business, what was your approach to excellent service delivery? So do you have a customer strategy? Do you have a customer experience vision for your business? I mean, like I said, not to put you on the spot.
Because you are the expert, can you just say who you are first?
How far have you thought about it, is what I want to ask. Because
a lot
it's important for an entrepreneur to be able to talk about his experience so other people can connect. Because I can say it from my, I know, but, let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
No, because you have dealt with a lot of businesses and you know that they don't have that strategy in place. It's not even part of they're just thinking numbers and how to move on.
Absolutely.
So, maybe it's time to give a bit of an history for our business. I mean, this business started out of passion, something I just enjoy doing. And COVID came and I was bored. I decided to take it more serious. I grilled almost everything my family and I ate. And my wife will always say, this is good. My kids will always eat it and make me feel like it's good, even though compared to where we are now, that wasn't so good. You understand? But shortly towards the end of the first major lockdown, my in-laws came around and they liked it. And like, okay, we started talking about doing it as a business and taking it more seriously. So I continued to try and error here and there, and it got better. It got better. Sometimes this year we decided to open a major outlet to start serving customers full-time. Now, because of the passion that I have for the business, or that I have for barbecue, it drives you to strive for excellence. I mean, there were things we tried that we felt this wasn't good enough, and we literally tossed it. I mean, I can't count how much was invested into trying out things to be sure whether this would work or that would work, but you just keep going at it. But because of the passion, you build yourself to a certain level that you can't drop your standards below. And that way you keep going for that perfection. Perfection is something that you keep seeking after. Even when you feel that, okay, we're there now, you have to keep striving, you have to keep going for it. It's not something that just stops at any point in time. So basically, what we try to do, or what we tried to do from the onset was to say, okay, this is how we want to run our business, and these are our expectations. This is this kind of service delivery we want to render to our customers. Good food, excellent delivery, packaging, and all of those. So we put some of those things into consideration. Some areas we took for granted are beginning to show up, in all honesty. Like, we just expected that you call it dispatch man, the food gets to the customer on time. Those kind of things are beginning to show up. Your supply chain is also very important. So you call your cold room, I need a few cartons of this, a few cartons of that. Oh, we'll have it with you in the bit, and you don't get it.
Don't show up.
Then also we've had experiences whereby we pay people for things and your money is gone, but the service or the product never arrives. Then you have to have the plan B and all of that. So we're learning quite fast. We're learning to adjust to, but we're not lowering our standards to the point that we just now take what the society has to offer. Because I believe if you make demands of the society and of your suppliers and of your staff, then things will generally improve. Basically, we like to believe that it is what you are allowed to happen that actually does happen. If you set your standards high and you go for it, then even those that are not at that level will have to come up to that level. It's not easy, I must be honest with you. There are times I look at my phone and it's one customer. There's some chats I only want to read once because the feedback is not good. But I mean, what do you do at that point? You can't be discouraged, just keep going for it, and you set your mind on the ultimate goal. Our vision is not something small, it's something huge. We want to take over the space.
Something huge.
It's something, we want to go global at some point in our career. So it's not something we're taking lightly. So we know that even though we're serving maybe the Lagos market now, maybe the Nigerian market now, at some point we have to go beyond that scope. So our standards have to be set to meet the standards of the climate and the societies in which we want to function.
I'm sure Uti is still thinking that he has not mentioned it, but let's go and drink water. We're coming back. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us now. If you just tuned in, we're having an amazing chat with Lekan on building SMEs with excellent service delivery. Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-8038-4663. I don't know how long I'll keep repeating this. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we don't take calls. Somebody has been calling this WhatsApp line. Please just send a message. We don't take calls on the days we have guests. All right, so Uti, I know you did not, so what you did, you set Leko up on a trap and he just entered it well. You know, because...
Ladies and gentlemen, don't allow Uwa lie to you. Look, I love Lekon's response.
Yes.
Because it's so perfect. It's the classic entrepreneur, business owner response. And it's not necessarily the source of the problem, but I needed him to do that because when typically you have conversations like this, our viewers may be watching and they may think, oh, I have a plan for my customers, I'm doing great. And then you ask them the question, and typically this will be the response. So it's not a bad response. But I wanted him to give it so that people would then connect. Then we can say, look, how about you think about it this way? Most businesses in Nigeria, particularly on the SME level, and this is the expert in that space, so I'll leave that to come back there. We come from either a place of looking for side income, or having a passion for a product, or just
survival.
In Nigeria, exactly, thank you. I was going to say that in Nigeria, you need multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Now, those are all great places to start a business. So this is a man that loves barbecue, and in other parts of the world, it's a religion. But he loves barbecue, and he's turned that passion into a profitable business. So when he started speaking, he kept talking about the product, how we fine-tuned it, how we made it better, how it was a quality thing, it was a standards thing, which is not bad. But when you do that, right, tomorrow, if one of your staff runs off with your secret recipe and your barbecue is elsewhere, then you're back to square one. So the idea is you kind of have to start, and I'm trying to remember that Steve Jobs quote, where you start your design from the customer. So if I was going to answer this question from the perspective referring to his business, then I would say, where is the problem? Every business is you fixing a problem that then brings money. So the question when you focus on the customer is, what is the problem that I'm solving? So before I tasted his barbecue, I'm also a barbecue lover, right? Before I tasted his barbecue, our typical grills is a common thing in Nigeria. But our grills is the same. We grill catfish with the same spice. We have suya. We have grilled chicken. We have grilled awo and all these different things. But they all taste the same. To a very yaji is yaji. There might be good yaji, bad yaji, but yaji is yaji. So in that sense, when you think about this kind of product, I say to myself, okay, all these people that are tired, what can I give them that's different? Then you start from there and you say, okay, what are my options? Okay, now I have this passion. So when that mindset starts from there, the approach in the business is different. So those things that you said you're now paying for, which is like the delivery issue, would be some of the things that you would fine-tune just as hard as you were fine-tuning the product. So that's where we kind of need to look at it, where we don't just think about service as, oh, when they come into your store or your business, does the person smile? Does the person greet? I mean, all of that is basic. But when you start to think beyond the product and even the experience with the product, but think about the customer. So when I think about water, what does water mean? I'm going to drink water. Why am I drinking water? I'm thirsty. Now, when I go to thinking about what causes my thirst, I start to think about, do I just want to serve you water? Do I want to serve you water at so and so temperature? Or sparkling water, or do I want to put lemon in? All these things, exactly, they all change that experience. But we have to be willing to think that way. So there's a common example that we use in our space. You go to the store to buy a drill. Why did you buy the drill? I'll ask. If you went to buy a drill today, why would you buy a drill?
Because I needed to do something, to fix something at home.
To fix something at home, like what?
My door hinges come off.
Okay, so your door hinge came off.
Yeah.
So that's why you bought the drill.
Yes, I want to do it myself.
You want to do it yourself?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's expensive to go and call someone experienced to do it for me.
Okay. So it's
So this
expensive
is
for you
a
to...
SME 101 class.
So, so it's expensive for you to fix it, one. So that's one need. So there's money. That's one. What else?
Well,
Why do you need to fix the door?
Because I want it
We need the door to be locked.
What
Yeah.
the door
To be
to do?
functional.
Safety. That's another thing. So you see that we've come away from the drill. Now we're talking about your
Solution.
unique
Yeah,
needs.
Absolutely.
That's where you have to
Lekon
start.
is
That's how
meeting-
granular you need
Lekon
to
is
go.
meeting solution. Don't worry.
Meeting my solution, definitely.
You know what I said to him?
Yeah.
And hearing you speak, I'm seeing a billionaire. So let me just take autograph now, just in case. You know, because
Thank you.
there is something
You behind
different. You know, because, you know, I was saying to him that these days when I'm thinking Christmas food, when I'm thinking Easter, when I'm thinking any holiday, Salah, whatever, I don't want to cross meat.
She's thinking.
I'm just thinking, cook the rice, call it
Call
cook. Do you understand? Because
Solving that
he
need.
has he's been able to take off that burden from and I know a lot of people that order, you know, from him just like that, like I would order, because he's been able to solve that problem, right? So I was just going to ask him. So what's the biggest challenge for you in your business? Because we have a customer experience expert. Make sure help us. We're in S.M.E you know, what's the biggest challenge for you as a business? Is it the delivery part? Because you have actually perfected the product to some extent.
Thank
so
you.
is the delivery the biggest issue in Nigeria that you see, you know, that would affect the kind of business that you do? Or is there more?
So I'll answer your question this way and say I wouldn't put the entire blame solely at the foot of the delivery people, but it's almost everything that is not under our direct control. So when you come into our outlet, or from start to finish, our processes have been standardized. So I can tell you, even I'm in the studio right now doing this interview or having this session with you guys, what they're going to prepare tomorrow has been processed and they know step 1, step 2, step 3, and all the way. I mean, I've done weeks outside Lagos or weeks outside the country, and the business continued, and they got good reviews from people who got the product. But at times, you find this challenge comes from forces you can't control. An example would be your delivery system. At times, the food gets there on time. It's not all the time that it doesn't get there on time. Well, you find out that maybe, like I said,
is not picking.
Exactly. So those are, I mean, the times we've had situations where the delivery guy will take the food and have to bring it back. I spent 10, 15 minutes calling this person and the person didn't pick up. And even when we ring up the customer, it might take another 30 minutes before the person goes, oh, I'm sorry, I left my phone in my bag, or I left it charging in one corner and all of that. And because we strive for excellence, most times we'll send that back to the customer, and some customers will be willing to pay the extra. So I won't just say it's the delivery. Anything that is outside the scope of our control, supply from even our major suppliers, so it's, the cold room that supplies us food. There are times where your plan also changes because things are seasonal. So let me give an example. We make a very good ram barbecue, as you can attest to. And
Oh no, you have eaten my money in this life.
thank you for your patronage. It's high time I say that.
Meanwhile, we pay. Oh, don't think we're just patronizing him. Oh. We pay.
We are full-time marketers of the business.
In fact, we are waiting for Christmas bonus.
We're going to have faithful customers end of year bonus at the end of the year. So during Salah, for instance, is a good example. I mean, you buy an average ram for maybe 70, 75,000, then it almost doubles. How do you adjust to such prices? I mean, because you can't turn that cost over immediately to your customer. If you try to create a buffer, so maybe you know Salah isn't too much, you start to buy rams now. I've tried some of these things. The cost of feeding rams is also something you need to consider.
You need feeding.
Yeah, the space to keep them. I mean, then the people who take care of these rams are used to it. You are not used to it. It's not something you really understand. I mean, you give the ram grass and it starts to poo all over. Then you're wondering what is going on. You feed it in the morning, it starts to lose weight. You give it water. So at some point, you slaughter the ram and freeze it, that kind of stuff. So basically, it's at times, but it's a learning curve. And that is one of the things. That's one of the things we've come to appreciate, that no experience is negative to us. We look at the experience critically, we review it, where can we improve, what can we do better. So even in the delivery system, for instance, when we started, we used to call any delivery guy off the road. Now we developed relationship with good delivery companies and several individuals that at least we can say, okay, this is quite urgent, I need you to get it there. Then we've considered going into having our own bikes and running the delivery
logistics
aspect
yourself.
as well. But the truth is, once one bike goes out and you've got 10, 15 others, are we going to buy 15 bikes? Let the people who specialize in that do just that. So those are some of the things that we have
So
to
it
do.
means you have to collaborate with the right partners.
You have to collaborate
Yeah.
with the right partners,
Let
exactly.
me salute that decision, because you know why I'm saluting it? Because that's where a lot of small businesses get it wrong. You forget your main focus and your main business, which is to deliver food, and then you start running a transportation business. Because that is it.
Yeah.
Because once you include that, you need to have a reasonable number to make sense.
Yes.
Now there is the human capital management of those people,
exactly.
and then there's a management of that asset.
Aspect.
Of,
So
the,
I would
of
say-
even the assets.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say congratulations for not falling into that trap, because I've seen people
Thank
that
you
do
very
that.
much.
My next question is going to be feedback, customer feedback. How do you have you developed a mechanism where you collect, process, and then impute that into your business? How does it work for you as a small business? Because I know that you just said your business is less than 2 years old, and people will want to listen to how does a small business do it. They're very familiar with hearing corporations or bigger business have customer feedback and all that. How do you do it as a small business? And let me just chip in the part B. How do you handle difficult customers? So we've been saying SMEs are badly behaved. We know that they are badly behaved customers. How do you deal with that?
I would like to say big thank you to our customers, because we have customers who also have a sense of ownership in the business.
I mean, shout out to
fairness
Obi
to
and
most
their
of
fates. Because they're the ones that started making me to spend my money.
So when we get feedback from customers, it comes from a positive or a good place. I remember a few weeks ago I was out of town, and they made a batch of grills, and normally we use what we call smokers. So it doesn't just cook the food, but it infuses the taste of smoke into your meat. But that day somehow, I don't know what they decided to do, but they cooked over direct charcoal. It was good product, tender, but it didn't have that taste of
The
smoke.
smoke.
So
which is your
a
signature taste.
customer bought and swiftly turned back to the store and said, "What's going on here?" and all of that. He was livid. He actually, my manager was chatting me and trying to, he's my friend, but I mean, he was very livid, like, this is not supposed to be. And the next minute I got a call from him, "No, these people will ruin your business. Tell them they must put the smoke, they must put the smoke." And he was thinking, why would someone like smoke so much? Because he didn't understand why. But that's part of what people buy in the taste of the food. So I had to let her understand. I apologized to the customer. Sometimes we even offer to say, "Okay, we'll give you another batch, or we'll refund money, then maybe your next purchase will make it better," and all of that. But they go, "No, that's not, we just want you to keep your standards, we want you to keep improving." So it's not about, "Oh, I've gotten something not up to par with what I expect from you this time around, and I'm not buying from you at all." You find customers, even classic example, we messed up somebody's order, and I felt like, okay, that's it, we're not going to hear from the person again. But the very next day, we got a call from somebody who was having a party and said, "Oh, this person referred you to me," even though just the day before we messed up the order. So I mean, our customers come from maybe because we put that personal touch to it. We try to speak with you, understand what you want. People have called us and said, "I want this, I want that." I mean, we've had customers say, "I want 40 packs of lunch packs," and I say, "Are you having the party?" And go, "Yeah, I'm having a party, I want to feed 40 people." Okay, rather than not buy 40 packs at 1,500, why don't you buy a tray? Would you give you about the same quantity for lesser? And those kind of advice endears our customers to us. The ones that have been somewhat difficult to deal with, they could scream, they could shout, but somehow they keep coming back. So I don't know whether it's the taste of the food.
So let Uti, since she's the customer experience.
I think somehow you infused the answer into what you were saying, which is, for me, what I picked out was your personal touch and also the value service that you offered. Because I know you had done that. I had my daughter's party. I called you. Forget that we're friends. But he gave me advice, and I appreciated it. See, I'm sorry if you're listening, I don't patronize friends just because you're my friends. I work hard for my money. So I look for good product. I'm not joking. I look for good product. I look for good service. I have some friends that have terrible products. I would never, but I'm sorry, but I don't do that, okay?
It's your
I'm
money
very
now.
sorry, it's my money. What I was saying is that what he did for me was the fact that, and I found out that he didn't do that from a friendship point of view. He did that from a professional point of view. He was like, "What do you want to do? How many people are you expecting? Do you just want this kind of meat? I can make it this type." And just offering me that professional service alone, I was very proud. So I have a friend that knows what he's doing. So,
but I want to say that, are you documenting? Because I think this is where Uti, because she's just sitting down and saying, customer engagement expertise is just like, hey, God, let me come and break down this business. But this is where I think Uti is coming from. So this thing you're talking about, it's amazing. And I remember, because I do a skincare business. Why do people come to my store? They can go to anywhere and pick up. It is that counsel. You don't just walk in, it's not a supermarket, you just walk in, pick up what you want to buy. I sit you down, what exactly is your target?
Exactly.
What do you want to achieve?
Exactly.
Do you want to take off blemishes from your skin and all of that? So I do that. I realized that I can be there, I might not have the product for 3 months. They will wait.
Yeah.
So they'll be calling me. So I took it for granted, and I did not understand that was a very big part of why my business was successful. Right? You don't. So if I was going to ask you now, these things you talk about, how you give feedback, how you help guide your customers, because you're guiding them as to what exactly they want, and you show them better options. Are there like, have you put it like as part of the process in your culture, in your business? Because if it is in your culture, whether I'm not talking to you tomorrow, if I'm talking to your manager, she will do the same thing.
Yes.
Let it not be that because I'm talking to the boss, he's the one giving me the counsel. Have you done that? I think because Uti is looking at me.
Yes. So
Sorry,
you're very correct. You're very correct. And it's one challenge that we face as S.M.E business owners or people who run businesses in Nigeria. No matter what you know, to recreate that in your staff at times could be a bit difficult. We've had, in the lieutenant that we opened the outlet, we've had maybe turnaround of staff maybe like once or twice. Because what you find out is some staff are not willing to learn. That's the honest truth. They're just there to earn the salary, and no matter how much you try to get them to imbibe some of these things, they wouldn't. I mean, I have one staff, and I've not let go of him because he's one of my best hands when it comes to doing all the physical work. But I've just banned him from literally picking up the call when the customer calls in. Because one, he doesn't seem to hear anything the customer is saying, and he will give feedback or responses that are very off the mark. So basically they just don't pick up the call. Just stay in the kitchen, cook the food, let someone else do the call picking. So you have to find ways of managing stuff like that. But even at that, we still give trainings quite regularly. Because what I've also come to realize in Nigeria is this, that people are somewhat stuck in their ways. So, people come to your kitchen, they want to work. They're used to doing things in their own kitchen in a certain way. And this is how they feel it should be done. I have staff argue with me to say, we want the fried chips. Why do I need to bring out of the fridge or the freezer and I put it straight into the... I said, no, you need to let it set at room temperature.
That's a simmer.
Yeah, exactly. They just want that. And I tell them, if you fry it that way, the end product will be different. So let it come to room temperature. So if you want to fry
you'd have
chips,
brought it out a day before.
A day before, or even hours before, 2 or 3 hours before you put it into your fryer. But some people still struggle with that. But you keep letting them understand this is how it's supposed to be done. Then also at times you need to get hands-on. That's the best way to teach people. Because at times they feel it's a bit of stress. But when you go there and you do it yourself, they tend to feel like, okay, if you can do it, then I also can do it. So because this business started as a passion, I did most of the things by hand. My wife, my kids, and support. The days will all be in the kitchen, mixing stuff together. So thank you very much, my beautiful wife and my lovely kids. I appreciate you for all your support. Now we've got into that stage where we need to now recreate that in people. So far so good, we have a couple of staff that are imbibing it quite well. Those who we give a bit of time that don't imbibe it, we have to let them go. But for those we're growing together as a business.
So Uti, if you had one advice to small businesses on service delivery, what would you say should be the number one thing, or maybe a few things that they should put in place quickly?
Okay. We talked about lawyers today. And what is the key thing? Lawyers are advocates. Lawyers speak on your behalf. Your goal as a business is to connect. It's not about making money. Money will come. The right product, the right customer strategy, you will make money. You need to connect with your customers on a very emotional level. I love what you said about the customer who had a bad experience one day and the next day he's
still recommending it.
You will actually get stronger advocacy from customers who have had a bad experience that you've turned around than from customers who have always had a good.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you always need to create an emotional connection with your customers. And for you to do that, you need to truly understand who your customer is. So the example that you gave, you said customers walk in the store. Now, somebody might have seen AK's lovely skin and say, AK, where do you buy your cream?
Ua.
She buys from Ua, right?
It just goes right
And
in.
I come straight to Ua and I say, Ua, I want exactly what you gave it to. And
like-
Ua says, thank God, money has come.
No
And
way.
she just ships it off and gives the person. Now, you've not asked the customer anything. You don't know whether they have the same skin. You don't know whether they eat like AK, exercise like AK. You know nothing about them. Then you sell it, you buy it, and then the next thing you start hearing is fake. Or she sold
It's
me
not
rubbish.
working for me.
It's not working. Do you get what I mean? So the idea, first of all, is small business owners. I know cash flow is a huge issue. You alluded to it. Not every customer is your customer. You need to be clear on how you run your business. So I have a friend who also sells underwear. Her USP is that we give you a fitting, a professional bra fitting.
Yeah.
You can't call her and say, I just want to buy it. You must have bought before. You must have come to the store.
For you to do a
They
repeat
must have
purchase
bought
like
you
that.
the right size, because she says, look, I want people to wear my clothes. And people
I feel-
ask them,
okay, yeah.
where did you get it from? And then they say, come. So they say, but you sold to my friend. I just want what you gave her.
No,
No.
it doesn't work
You
that
need to
way.
come.
They're not your friend.
So that emotional connection is what you have to think of. So the idea that believing, we've always talked about the power of mindsets, believing in your mind that if I get it right with the customer, more customers will come.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because cash flow is always, when you start thinking, I need more money, let me just quickly sell. You're not thinking about the long-term ripple effect.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can I-
Let me
can I-
just
shouting in
add,
my ear.
let me
Okay,
just add a
quickly.
little thing. So to the SME out there, all this might sound a little bit too much, but 1 minute is that it's a journey. Start, begin, and you build it. That's what I would say.
Lekon, quickly.
Final word? Final words will be anybody who's in business, always strive to create value. Money will always come as
Absolutely. Thank you
alongside.
so much. So, thank you, Lekon. You've
Thank
been an
you very
amazing,
much.
amazing guest. Thank you, Uti, experts. Thank you, SME expert. Okay.
Do we
All right,
have your
so before we
permission to
go,
sign her up as our
Do
consultant?
ensure you follow us on Instagram. Is at PlusTvAfrica. Follow us today because we're giving out. Did you guys see the picture I used for my photo shoot yesterday? So we're giving out 5 of those hair. There's a date. I mean, it's all posted on social media. That's the giveaway for 5 lucky viewers. You get to win this particular hair from Fab's signature. Then also, remember we had Nancy on the show. The scholarship for $2,500. The program is up and running, so you can register. This is all for free. You're not paying a dime. All right, so make sure you do that. So the giveaway has started. So if you missed today's quote, here it is again. That is a very interesting quote because it just ties to everything Lekon has been saying. It says, just having satisfied customer isn't good enough anymore. If you really want a booming business, you have to create raving, as in they should be raving. The fans should be shouting, go and buy Lekon's barbecue.
Like all of us.
We'll see you guys on Monday as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
Bye.